Down here we have programs. So what your programs are is your programs basically contain your sounds. All right, so in short, they contain your sounds. All right, it goes a little deeper than that because there are different types of programs. But this first one right here is a drum program. So this is actually going to contain your samples. So this is going to contain your drum samples. Now, right here, you know, it says drums, and then you got your key groups, you got plugins, you got MIDI programs, you got clip programs, and CV. All right, we're not going to worry about a lot of these other ones right now. We're just going to focus on drum programs and plugin programs for this particular tutorial. Now, at any point in time, you can add new programs by pressing that plus, but this is the program that's selected, okay? And you can play this program with your pads. So let's go back to main. So you make sure you're in main here, and then you can play that program with your pads. Now underneath program we have insert effects. So this channel here on the left is your program channel for this particular program, and we have 4 insert effects that we can add to each program. So you could do that right there. And right here, these are your synth effects. So I believe by default this one's going to have a reverb, so let's turn this up. Now let's hit the pads. You can hear there's a reverb. Alright, we can take that off. We got our dry signal again. Now we have 4 different synths that we can use. Underneath that we can select a program here. Okay, and then underneath that we have our output. So this particular program is going to output 1 and 2. Underneath that we have mute and solo. So if you mute this, you're not going to be able to hear anything. Alright, you can unmute it. You can hear it. Now if you solo it, you're only going to be able to hear that. Okay, now over here, this is your write and read automation. When it's on R, it's going to read any automation. And automation is just like, you can program the parameters in here to be automated to automatically do certain things. We're not going to cover that too much in this particular video. But under here we have our pan. So we can pan things to the left or the right. Or we can simply do that by pressing Control Z. And right here, we do have our program volume. So right now it's on 0 dB, and we can change it a few different ways. We can actually click it and move this slider up and down. We can move this particular Q link right here. So this area are your Q links. We can actually change the program level. You can see where it says program level. We can change the program level here, or we can actually use the knob on our controller. So I'm going to turn the knob on the controller, and you can see I'm actually changing the level of that program. And then again, I can use my mouse here or over here. Okay, I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. Alright, so that's your channel strip section. So that whole section is your channel strip. Now to the right of that, this is going to change depending on where you're at. So right now it's on output 1 and 2, and any insert effects on your outputs are right here. Okay, so if you click that effect, this is going to be all the parameters that control that effect. There's a bunch of other stuff at the top here. Right here we got our metronome. You can turn this on or off here. We can change the volume of it here. Okay, we have our time correct here. So now the time correct is on. You can see it says timing correct. Right here we have our bar, and then our beat and our tick. So this indicates where our playhead here. Right here, there's a playhead. So if I click over here, I can change where the playhead is. So if I click this kind of blue area at the top here, green, blue, whatever color that is, I can change where that playhead is. So you can see I'm changing it there. Alright, now over here we have our BPM, so that's how fast it is. So I'm going to slow it down. We can do it by clicking it or in dragging our mouse, or we could just tap or double click. Alright, and then we can type it in. So I changed it to 90. Alright, and then we have over here kind of where we can actually control our playback. We can hit record here, overdub here, alright, and then we have our retrospective record here, our punch in and out, stop, play, and play start. So the most common things you're probably going to use is overdub and play start. Now if you look, spacebar does actually start it for you. Now if you hover over some of these things, it's going to give you like what it actually is. So if I hover over that, it says records. It also gives me a shortcut. So R is going to arm for record. You can see I pressed arm, and now it's arm for record. And then Shift R is going to give me overdub. Okay, so these might be useful for you if you're going to be using your keyboard. Stop is stop, which is going to be spacebar. And play is Shift spacebar, and then play start is just spacebar. So if I hit spacebar, it's going to start the playing. But whenever it starts it, you don't hear anything. That's because we actually have to program something inside of here. So if you look at this big section here, this is our grid. You can see it says grid right here. Then we got wave, and wisp. We're worried about our grid right now because we want to get something in our grid so we can hear something. So if you look at the grid, we can actually double click in there and start programming things. So you can do that very simply. All right, now if I hit spacebar, we do have something programmed. So that's one way to program. All right, I can program a whole drum beat in there by just clicking in there. If I really wanted to. Now there's going to be different ways you could do things, but this is just one way to do it. Okay. Now you saw that. Alright, and if I don't want these events in here, anything I double tap in here is called an event, by the way. So if I don't want one of these MIDI events, I could double tap it and delete it, or I could tap it, or click it, I should say, and then press delete and delete it that way. And if I want to delete multiple things, I can select multiple events and then press delete. Okay? Okay, so now we're back to a clean slate. Down here we do have some different modifiers and our velocity. All right, cover that later on, maybe in a different video. But right now, let's get a beat going. So let's use our pad. So I do recommend having some kind of controller, some kind of USB MIDI controller that you can control. And you can hear it's very easy to play when you have an audio interface. Now I do have an audio interface that has an ASIO driver. Alright, so the latency or the delay between when I hit the pad and hear it is very minimal. If you do not have an audio interface, download ASIO for all, okay? And that's going to help you out. Alright, so let's go ahead and get something in here. Alright, we can use our pads and hear the different sounds. And I always say, when you're working with drums, if you can sing it, you can play it. So if I want something that's like boom, tap, boom, tap, you know, I could be able to do that, you know, boom, tap, boom, tap. Alright, so that's one simple method of kind of coming up with a drum beat. One good thing to do is turn your metronome on. So let's go ahead and put the metronome on. So right here, I want to click where it says metronome, or you could actually push Shift and M to start that. But it's on now, so when I hit spacebar, you're going to hear the metronome. Okay, now it's going to give you something to play to. So, okay, I have something to play to. All right, now what I do want to do is use my Q links to kind of zoom back out. So now I'm using my controller to control the Q link. So this Q link right here, this is the fourth Q link, actually controls your zoom. So if you pull it all the way down, you're going to get the entire picture right there. All right, so let's record something. I got the metronome on. I'm going to push Shift R, and that's going to arm the overdub. And then when I hit space bar, you're going to hear a count in, and I'm going to be able to record. So I'm going to record that into it, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. 3, 4. Alright, so I'm going to actually turn overdub off by clicking it, and I'm going to turn the metronome off by clicking it. Then you can start freestyling the drums over top of it. Alright, I'm going to hit overdub up here. Alright, I'm going to take overdub off. Alright, I put overdub on just for a second so I can record that one MIDI event. Alright, so we got a drum beat in there. Remember, I'm just using the template here, so you can follow along with this if you want to. Alright, so if I hit spacebar, you're going to be able to hear that drum beat. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is actually go to a different track. So there's a few ways we can do that. we can actually click over here, all right, where it says tracks. So we got all of our different tracks here, so we can select a different one. I'm going to select keys. All right, so that's one way we can change the tracks. Another way is down here where it says tracks. You can see it says track right there, all right, and it says current track. So we can actually go through the different tracks. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to keys. So we're on keys right there. So we got a drum beat in there. Let's hear what the keys sound like. All right, so we can play one note at a time. Multiple notes at a time. All right, and we can also use pad perform. All right, now if you look down here, we got our cue links, we got our pads, and then right here it says pad perform. All right, so under where it says pad perform, we can actually change this to chords, for example, and then we could change our root note there. We could change our scale, so maybe you want a major scale, and then we can actually right here change our chord type. Okay. So let's just pick this one for fun. Alright, so that's without sound. Baby. 1, 3, 5 sounds like this. Alright, and then right here is our octave, so we can actually turn that octave down. Alright, and we could pick a different scale. So here's all the different scales. So let's pick natural minor. Alright, you could change the root note. Alright, now, so if you don't know music theory, don't worry about it too much. Just pick something here and then like kind of stick with it throughout the song. As far as right here where it says root note in your scale, keep the scale the same through the song and you'll be okay. So let's go ahead and keep the root note as C and then scale as natural minor. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the space bar and kind of play to this. Alright, let's listen to it. So that's not too bad, but let's go ahead and make this sequence a little longer. You can see it's 2 bars here, but if we go over here to the menu, we can go to edit, and then under where it says sequence, what we can actually do is double the length. So you can see where we're at. We're in the menu, edit, sequence, double length. We click that. What that's going to do is actually make this 4 bars now. All right, not only does it make it 4 bars, but if we go back to our drum track, it doubles that drum track up. So we'll be able to hear drums throughout the whole sequence. So let's go back to keys. Now let's listen to it. All right, that gives us a little more playroom, right? All right, now I'm going to actually use my cue link to zoom back out again so we can see the entire sequence here. And then I'm just going to keep it very simple. Now you notice when I push a pad while using pad perform, I get that chord, okay? And you basically just play around with the chords, find something you like, pick numbers out of the hat, whatever you want to do. Just keep it simple. I'm just going to use this first pad, kind of this second pad up here, and then add that at the end of it. So let's go ahead and do that. Overdub, and then we'll hit spacebar. So now we can listen back to it. Now if you look over here, you can actually find your notes. Alright, so these are the MIDI events up here. And you have a zoom over here as well. So. Now I think the timing might have been a little off. I think I want to pull the timing. I think I want to change the timing a little bit, so I'm going to select these 3 notes and I'm going to use this little thing right here. So if I left click, I can actually select these notes, and you can see there's this white line around these events, which are the notes, and then we can actually use this weird looking tool here to bring it back, and then we can do it again for this. Okay, let's see if this maybe sounds better. it until I find what I like here. Alright, I think that sounds a little better. So since we actually have something in here, I'm going to go to menu, then I'm going to go to right here where it says file. You can actually save the project. Okay, now I created a folder in here. So when you first see this, it's not going to have a projects folder, but I just went new folder and made a projects folder, and then went into that projects folder. All right, and we can save this. So I'm going to make it MPC Beats. This is the second, project I worked on, so I'm going to put 2. All right, if you push enter, it's going to save it, or you can click save. If you're finding value in this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. Don't give it 2 thumbs up, just give it 1 thumbs up. And do that below. I really appreciate you for doing that. It's going to help this video get seen by other people who want to see this information. Appreciate you. Alright, so now we do have a sequence, but I do want to show you this. If you click right here where there's 4 squares, it's going to take you over to Program Edit. Now when you're in Program Edit, you're going to be able to see what we're actually playing. So this is the electric synth. Okay. Now there are different presets here that you can change. But before we mess with the presets, I just want to move on to the Synth Pad. So now we're here. This is actually called Tube Synth. Alright, and you can see all the different parameters that we have. So this is called Tube Synth, okay? We got these 2 main oscillators here, and you have a sub-oscillator which generate the sounds for the synth. And we got all these different controls. Let's not get into this too much right now. But I did want to show you that's what it looks like. Let's go back to main. Alright, and again, if you look here, we're going to use Pad Perform. That's what it sounds like. So I'm pushing this first pad A01. That's one thing I want to show you right here. It says A01, A02, A03, A04. Now up here, you can see where it says A. That's what bank we're in. There are actually 8 different banks. Okay, but right now we only get access to 3 of them because of the particular type of program we're in. But right now we're in bank A. So right down here is going to say A01. Alright, let's listen to it. Alright, so, we could just keep it simple, keep it a couple chords. We can actually change the octave of it as well. Now keep in mind, I'm keeping the root note the same and the scale the same. And I'm just going to change the octave maybe a little higher. Experiment. Alright, maybe we didn't like that. Let's try an octave lower, which is actually going to be at 2. So we're an octave lower from the original octave. Alright, and if you haven't figured out by now, the octave number changes the actual pitch. So the lower the octave number, the lower the pitch, the higher the octave number, the higher the pitch. I think that sounds fine, so I'm going to actually click overdub right there, and then hit spacebar, and then start recording the pads. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the spacebar and record onto the pads. Get the count in. Take overdub off. Alright, push spacebar to stop it. So that sounds pretty good. Let's go to track 4. So track 4 is bass. Let's go over to Program Edit. This is the bassline synthesizer. Alright, this comes built into the MPC Beats software. We got this one. So I'm going to do something different now with Pad Perform. Let's go back to main. Right here where it says Pad Perform, I'm going to change the type from chords to notes. So what I did is I took Pad Perform off of chords where it's playing 3 notes at once, or it's playing more than 1 note at once. and I changed it to where it's only going to play one note at once. This particular synth is a mono synth, so it's only going to play one note at a time. So there's no point of picking chords because it's not going to play 3 notes. So we're going to go ahead and play one note at a time. Alright, so that's what it sounds like. So I'm going to hit spacebar and kind of listen to it. It doesn't sound too bad, right? But let's change the octave down and just, see what that sounds like. Now, a lot of making music is experimenting. So you don't know what it's going to sound like until you actually try it. So let's go ahead and try it. Okay. Adds a little more thickness to it. Now, you don't have to conform to the same notes and everything like that. I'm just keeping it really simple. And since this is a bass line, we can kind of make it groovy if we want to. We could play other notes, right? We could do different things. I'm just going to improvise something. I'm going to hit overdub, and then I'm just going to go into it by pushing the space bar. Alright, I think that sounded pretty good. I'm going to take overdub off. Square, which is stop, and I think that's a good spot to actually save the project. I like to save often. It's just a habit. I think it's a good habit to get into. You never know, when the power is going to go off or something's going to happen, right? So at this point, I think we got a pretty decent sounding sequence. Now we can add more tracks to this. We don't have to, conform to the template. We can improvise the template. So I'm going to go to a 5th track, and I'm going to push this plus icon. So when I push that, it's going to add a new program. And you can see right there, plugin 004. It's a new program, which is a plugin program. Now, right here, it is the Tube Synth program, and the preset is default. So let's hear that. All right, that's what it sounds like, but I think the octave is too low. So I want to change it maybe to octave 4. All right, and then right off the bat, I'm just going to turn the volume down. All right, I'm going to use my encoder here just to turn it down. So we got a lead. I'm going to improvise a simple lead like that. So I'm going to press overdub and then play start just to program that in there. Let's go ahead and do it. 2, 3, 4. There we go. Take over the ball. And we don't have to use that preset. We can change the preset. So if you look right here, there are different presets. You can hit this arrow to go to the next one, right? Now you can see I'm changing the preset as it's playing. That's interesting, right? You can always come back to a preset. So now if you click where the preset name is, you can actually look at the presets, and you got different categories. So we got synth, lead, pluck, pad, bass, organ, effects, etc. But let's go ahead and maybe pick a lead, hard sync, maybe. Simple square, I mean, sounds pretty neutral, a little mellow, I like it. Simple. Let's try to put the send to the reverb. Alright, I want to click where it says send. It doesn't actually say send, but... So what I did there is take you back. I turned up the send, so it's going to send this sound to the return right here. You can see this return has this air reverb on it, so I clicked right there, okay, and then it brought up the effect, and then I simply just increased the room size to kind of give it more of a dramatic reverb, and let's listen to it. The effect by pressing this power button. So that's what it sounded like before. Turn it on. Alright, so there you go. That's how you can add effects. I think we got a pretty decent beat going on right now. I think this is a good place just to go ahead and, save our progress. Alright, so there's one more thing I want to show you, just for this first tutorial here. Right here's our channel mixer. So we can actually change the different volume levels right here. So each one of these lines right here is called a fader. We can change our volume. Sounds pretty decent, right? This is just a rough mix to kind of make it sound a little bit more pleasant, because sometimes some sounds can get louder than the others. Alright, so I just wanted to show you the mixer. I'm not trying to give a big mixing tutorial. I just wanted to show you, okay, this is where you can change the levels, and you can see all the different levels all at once. Alright, you can do that right there. Alright, so this is the channel mixer mode. So this software is deep. If you're just starting, there's a lot to take in. So if you need to, go ahead and rewatch some of the sections in this video. Ask questions below. If I get enough of the same questions, I'll make a video about it. So go ahead and ask the questions, all right? And hey, I think this is a great piece of software. If you want to get into the MPC workflow, this software is very capable, and we've only scratched the surface, okay? So this is just one of the templates, and it's only showing a little bit of what you can actually do with this software. So be sure to ask your questions below, okay? So I will have more videos about the MPC Beats software. Click or tap the screen over here to take you to the playlist that's going to contain those videos.
Yo. Yo. Wow. Use a mini core pack is it. I literally made this beat in 20 minutes. Like, made a hit record in 20 minutes.
The Unison MIDI chord pack.
Over 1,200 MIDI files that can get you up and running faster and making music. They've got chord progressions in all the keys, single chords, just MIDI files that you can drop in and put on your favorite sounds.
It's super in-depth. It's got triads, it's got chord progressions.
You got all these different chords in all major and minor keys, so that is good to know. At first, I was super skeptical of this product. I was like, how in the world is this product going to help me? And I slowly started to realize that even though I know music theory, the convenience factor is unbelievably useful in time saving.
it's actually going to be super easy because with the MIDIs, you could just follow the bass line with your 808s and just knock everything out super fast. So let's do that.
Unison has nailed these chord pads. Unison also told me you can get the pad for 60% off if you use the special link in the description below.
You can get 60% off with just using this link.
Grab that right now. That's the sauce right there. That's the secret sauce. That's the key thing.
When you first open Drip, it's really apparent that the user interface is really simple. It's designed to be super user-friendly. You just pick a preset and go, and there's this overall knob that's basically like a mix knob, and you can get a little deeper with some other parameters, but there's nothing that's like too complicated.
What's up, YouTube? You already know who it is, and I'm coming back at you today to give you my full MPC Beats walkthrough. After this, you should have an overview of exactly what you need in order to make a beat in the MPC Beats software, start to finish. Follow me. So obviously the first thing we have to do is open up the MPC Beats software. Here we go. Okay, now we have the MPC Beats software open. I'm not going to use any templates for this. We're going to go to an empty project and we'll start from scratch. In the case of people who may have an MPK Mini, if you don't have a new one, I actually do have the MPK Mini 3 on order. It's not arrived yet, but it will be soon. But for people who don't, this is the MPK Mini 2. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that the device is enabled, and I'll show you why in a second. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to the default MPC Beats sound preset so that it's something that everybody will have available to them. So that's what I'm going to use. We'll go to the program, because the programs are the actual drum kits. Unless you're using the F9, then the program would be the key group for the F9. So everything will be down here in this list. And at first, preview won't be on. So you click the sounds, you won't be able to preview what they sound like. What you want to do is go down here and you have a play. That's a manual preview. You can use that if you want to, but I like to turn on this speaker icon, which is the automatic preview. So as soon as you click a drum program, it'll automatically play the sound. I kind of like that. I think it's okay. So now, in order to load that, you can double click it, or you can take it and drag it and drop it into the scene. Double clicking it is a little bit faster, so that's all I did. I just said double click. Now that we have this drum program uploaded, the point I originally wanted to make is that you have to have your MPK activated or enabled in order for it to function properly. It will function without being enabled, but everything won't be mapped properly. For instance, in the drum program, so all of those sounds are playing properly, and this is bank A, which are the top 8 pads in your drum program. So right here, the top 8 pads. Now, if you select bank B, it'll turn red, and that's supposed to select the bottom 8 pads. Now, as you see, it's playing 4 of the pads, and the other pads aren't doing anything. So these pads aren't playing any sound. So they're not mapped correctly. Now how we fix that, go over here to the bottom right corner, and there's this little icon. It says MIDI Learn. Click that, and then you got Learn, Enable, and MPK MIDI. You want to enable it. Now that it's enabled, that turns on the default mapping, so everything is now properly mapped. So now when we play these pads, it'll play all of them. And we'll go to the other bank and play the bottom 8. So now you have the full functionality of the device. Otherwise, you would be wondering why only some of the pads are playing, not all of them. So that would be the prime cause. So now we want to set a BPM. I usually like to work around 80. So you can go up here and click and drag, or you can double click it and type it in. So we'll go 80 BPM. That's probably fine for me for right now. You can select whatever you want. If you want to do double time, you can select 160, 150, or whatever it is that you like to use. All right, so now that we have that set, what we're going to do is record some type of a drum pattern. And I'm terrible at finger drumming. I got a lot of respect for people who know how to finger drum and are good at it. Just not my lane. I prefer to slow walk it, but I get the job done. When you first record a track, if there's not anything on the board, you can use record or overdub, whichever one you prefer. But keep in mind that if you've already recorded something on a sequence and you hit the record button, when you record it to try to overlay the sequence, it will record over everything, and everything that you've previously done will be erased. So if you want to keep what you previously done, then you want to use the overdub. And I tend to always use the overdub just so I know that I won't lose anything I've already done. I hardly ever hit the record, even when I'm first starting out. I always stay on overdub. So now, all we have to do is play from the beginning or press the space bar and we can get started. Now what I'm going to do is overlay some hi-hats in this, and I don't really do a lot of fast-paced hi-hats all the time, so I just do like a half-step hi-hat. I don't know what you call it, but I do it often. So here we go. Nothing spectacular at the moment. So there we go. Track 1. And I like to rename track 1, so I'm going to name it drums. Just so I know that my drum program is on track 1. I'm also on sequence 1. I'm not going to mess with that yet. I like to build out my full song. Then once I get the full song built out, then I'll copy over the sequences and start mixing the track and sequencing the track after that. So now I got my basic drum pattern. We're going to go to track 2. I'm going to load some type of key loop sound. We're going to stay within the default Akai product that you will have to work with. It is on a drum program right here. I'm going to select the key group. And then I'm going to go over here to my sounds, and we're going to select the F9 expansion that comes with the MPC Beat software, and pick one of these sounds to work with. Why not? Let's go with it. Double click it to load it up, and now that we got it loaded up, what we're going to do is go to the program. And it says program 2. What we're going to have to do is select the F9 key group we just loaded. And there it is. The F9 bells, 1. So we select that. Now that we have that selected, so I kind of figure out a program we want to start with. And we're on the scale E flat natural minor, and let's get started.
Get him, boy!
I'm gonna put in overdub. Where you start. Real simple, something basic, and something that you can build on. Now that we have that, I don't think I need to do anything to it. What I will do now is name track 2 bells. Now I do know that we only have 8 tracks to work with in the MPC Beat software, but there is a way around that. We can make this to unlimited tracks if we need to, but for now, let's continue. We're gonna go to track 3. We'll find another key group, maybe a bass sound. Kinda like that one. I kinda like that. Go to F9 sub. Alright, so now we have that set. What we're going to do is put it back in overdub, and we'll play our bass line. Like I said, nothing too extravagant. We're keeping it simple. And we're going to name that track bass. And we're going to move on to track 4. Now for track 4, we need like a mid sound. We got a high sound, we got a low sound, we got drums. We need something to kind of fill the mid range, or maybe something to add something to the high, like something airy. Maybe some string, choir type sound, something like that. So we just loaded up this warm pad sound. Okay, so now we're gonna go in here, put this track in overdub, and get ready to play the next pattern. So like I said, it's real simple. Real easy to do. Okay, now say that we wanted to sample something. We could go up here to the sampler. So now if we want to sample directly into the MPC Beat software, what we want to do, you want to select the input from which you'll be sampling from, depending on how you have your audio device set up, as in your audio interface. On mine, I do have inputs 3 and 4 set to where I can sample anything that I can play. So I set it to 3 and 4. As you can see, I'm starting to get levels, and that's normal. It's picking up my voice right now. But as I go play a sample, As you can see, it's picking it up very well. You can also adjust the level. So, I'll raise this up just a little bit, because if you keep it all the way at the bottom, it will detect that noise floor signal, and it'll automatically start as soon as you hit on the track like it just did. So I didn't raise it up high enough. I want to raise it just above that noise floor level. Okay, on the track, and now it's waiting to hear a signal. Now, as soon as it hears the signal, it will start sampling. So I didn't want the whole thing. I just wanted that first part. You can name this. I'm just going to leave it new sample for now. Leave the program to none because I don't want to set it to a program just yet. And I won't change anything yet. Everything else you can fix later. So I'll just keep it. So here's the sample. And now that we have our sample, we want to go to the sample edit. Okay, now that we're in the sample edit screen, I'll drag that to cut off that end part. So I want to try to make it a perfect loop. Now to preview the sample, all you have to do is click in it and hold it. Here I have a little pop, so it's a little bit more. Stretch this out a little bit. Get that little click out of there. So that should be it. Better. Now what we're going to do is go to discard, and what that's going to do is get rid of everything that you don't have selected in the sample. So everything outside of the sample range will be removed. Now we're going to select do it. So now we have just the sample that we want. From here, we're going to go over here to chop. Now you can set it to threshold, regions, and BPM, which are kind of like automatic sample chop positions. So threshold, it'll just go and make samples according to where it thinks some of the transients are. It'll automatically find samples. That's not normally what I like to use. I'm going to get rid of all of those. I usually will either go to regions because it makes even sample chop. If it is a even 16 or 8 bar or 4 bar loop, whatever the loop is. If it's an even loop, it'll make even sample chop. And actually, that sounds kind of good. I may keep that like that for this particular instant. Otherwise, I would go to manual chop. This is the one I use the most. And then, well, actually, I use manual chops the most because I kind of like to be able to get in there and get searchable with my sample chops. And then, what I use the second most would be regions. I don't use threshold very much, and BPM sample chops, I use that never. But that's just a personal preference of mine. You might find some uses out of it and find a way to utilize it better than I do. And if you do, more power to you. So now we got our sample chops, we got it chopped up in regions. We're going to go to non-destructive convert, sample pad. We're going to create a new program. In that new program, we're going to select pad parameter, because that will put each pad on its own individual slice. You can manipulate each sample individually if you like. If you put it in non-destructive slice, when you pitch one sample, if you don't want to pitch it all, you pitch one pad, it'll turn it all up. So pad parameters will make each slice its own individual sample. So that's what we're going to do. Now we're going to go to track 5, which is going to use. Select our drum program, and we're going to select our new sample. Let's record it in. Overdub. Okay, now I want to put a little wet, let's put a little water on the sample. So let's go in here and we're going to add reverb. So I'm going to go with air reverb on channel 1. Now, this particular part I don't care for. In this instance, I would rather use plug-in because a lot of the default Kai plugins look like this. And what that is the numbers that control the parameters that you're changing. Now, I like to be a little more visual. This is one of the reasons why I don't use a lot of the Kai plugin per se. Now, if you're using it on an MPC, for instance, they do give you a nice visual layout for you to adjust the parameters. It makes it a little more easy. But on here, as you can see, it's all numbers. But I'm going to go to a preset, basic medium room. I may not have to change the preset. Usually I don't change the presets much when I'm using a reverb. I just kind of go through the presets and find one that I feel fits what I'm looking for. So let's try this out, see what we got. Okay, so that's cool. Now I'm gonna go here and add a delay. And the air delay is one of my favorite delays. I use this delay a lot, but again, on here, you just get numbers. On the MPC, you get a nice visual layout. Same thing as far as the EQs and all of that when it comes to your Kai plugins. I wish they would fix that, but until then, I will still probably prefer to use my third-party VST. But for this particular instance, because I want to show you that you can do this with all the default settings, I'm not going to change that. Now, what I'm going to do is go to the Follow Me delay, which I use probably too much. It's my favorite one. And I always go to 5/8 or 3/4. I'm just going to set it to 3/4. And then from there, what I like to do is take the feedback down to about 15 or 20. And I'll also take the mix down to about the same range. Everything else can pretty much stay where it is. Sometimes I may take it down to like 15 or so. This is about where I normally put it. It's about my speed right there. So let's solo if you want to hear it. So that's the setting that I generally use when I'm putting that EQ and reverb on a lot of my instruments. I'll tone it down a little bit or ramp it up a little bit, depending on how prevalent I want the reverb or the delay to be. But most times I try to keep it moderately low and just a tad bit in there. Just to give it that little extra. Just a little extra, that's all. Now we almost got enough to make a full beat. So at this point, when I feel the beat is starting to fill out and get to about the space I want it, I start pre-mixing my beats. Now, a lot of what I do is very, very simple, and you can do this your own way. There are no rules to it. It's all by ear as far as I'm concerned, the way that I do it, and I do it according to how I like the music to sound, how I like to turn out in the end. It's all based on preference. Again, there is no one way to do it. For my mixes, I like certain things to stand out, and I kind of bury everything else in the bottom. And what I mean when I say that is, I'll keep the drums starting out at maximum level. I'll keep the bass starting out at maximum level. I'll eventually turn those down also, but starting out, I keep a maximum level. And everything else that's not in the drum or bass category, I'll turn it down to somewhere around -20 dB. And then from there, I'll begin to pan it if I feel that it needs to be panned, or EQing it to create more space and separation. Okay, now that I got everything kind of pushed low in the mix, it doesn't feel like I need to move anything around as far as panning anything right now, so I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is go to my drum track. Now I'm going to pull up my mixer. And now that I'm in my mixer, I'm going to go to the kick track inside the drum program, and I'm going to add the mother ducker. So we go to Dynamics, and then we're going to add the mother ducker input, because the kick is going to be the input. Don't have to change anything, leave that alone. Okay, and now from there, we're going to go to the bass track. And inside the bass track, what I'm going to do is go to my Dynamics and add the mother ducker. Now again, I hate this interface. I wish they would give us the full interface, the same one that's on the MPC-X, but since they don't, I'll have to use what I have. Now, I don't really change much in here. What I do is I'll change the attack and make it as fast as possible most cases. So it starts at a 10, I'll take that down to 1, and I'll adjust the release depending on how it's affecting the bass, because sometimes a slower release will make the bass have that curve sound. A faster release will just make the bass sound like an 808. So about there sounds pretty good to me. And what that's doing is making that kick, or making the bass duck out every time the kick hits. Side chain inside the MPC beat software. Now, from here, what I normally do is I'll finish adjusting levels on the track. Now I got the track maxing out at about negative 3 dB, which is kind of in the range you want to be for mastering. From there, once I get all my levels where I want them and I get it sounding like I want it, from there I will start to sequence the beat. And I try to do it in order most of the time. So I will change the name of the first sequence to intro. Now that I got my sequence name, I'll right click on it and then select copy sequence. So I'm going to copy sequence 1 and I'm going to copy it to sequence 2 and I'll name it my drop. And then select do it. So then we'll go back to sequence 1, which is the intro, and we'll go and mute out the tracks that we don't want to play in sequence 1 to create a bit of an intro. Okay, now we have enough sequences to build a full beat, and now we're going to go into song mode. And now that we're in song mode, what I'm going to do is show you a trick that I did show in a previous video, and I will put that video on a card up here in the corner so that you can see it if you want to go check that video out. Something that I found that works inside the MPC Live and the X and the MPC One. And as of right now, we're going to test it and see if it works with the MPC Beat software and the MPK Mini as well. As you can see, we have our sequences down here. Now, what you can do with the MPC Beat software, so the first pad is the intro sequence, the second one is the drop, verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, so on and so forth. You can drag them and drop them to put them in the order that you want of your song. You can put how many times you want it to repeat or if you want it to hold, so on and so forth. But again, what we're going to use my ultra fast sequencing technique. So what you want to do is go up here in the MPC Beat software, select overdub. You don't have to play start, just hit overdub. When you hit overdub inside the MPC Beat software, or whatever it is you're using, it will allow you to use your pads to lay down the sequencing of your song. I believe everything is in 4-bar loops. No, actually it's 2-bar loops. Everything's 2-bar loops. It says right there on the screen. But we got 2-bar loops, so I want at least a 4-bar intro. So that means I'm going to go to my intro, pad 1, hit that twice. And yes, the technique does work. Now, I want my drop, 8 bars, and then we'll go into 4 bars of the first part of the verse, 4 bars of the second part of the verse. And for the MPK Mini, if you have more than 8 sequences, you will have to use the bank button. So then we'll go back to my drop, randomize the verse. Next time we'll just start, we'll do some different things with it. No, I hit the wrong one up here. Delete that sequence. Alright, so we're done. We'll take it out of overdub and we'll have a listen to see how the song sounds. So there you have it. That's basically my full intro, basic walkthrough to get you acquainted with MPC beats. I hope you learned a little bit about the software. Go ahead and get into it. Make some fire beats. I hope y'all do something great with it. I'm out.
Man, it is clean AF in here. Clean and fresh.
Hey.
Like the dance moves. Wow, my thing.
Yep, because Pine Sol disinfects 99.9%.
Hey, I'm already playing Crossout.
It's not right.
Pine Sol, it's that kind of clean.
What up, Bubba?
Welcome to 2021. My name is Matthew Tran. I want to make a beat in the MPC Beats software. And before we get into the video, I do want to mention this shirt. Somebody was asking about this particular shirt and where I got it. I actually designed this shirt and put it up on Teespring, and I ordered it from there. So if you're curious about that, if you want to look into that, I'll leave a link for it in the description if you do want to check that out. Let's get into this beat.
I'm in there. I'm in there already.
MPC Beats Untitled. This is a brand new project. Let's find a drum kit. This right here came with the MPK Mini Mark III when I bought it. It's just a few kits in here. Got some melody loops and stuff. Let's just
Oh yeah,
load this kit up. All right, so when I load that.
Oh yeah, I got you. I'm in the middle of a game right now. I'm about to get in my little gunfight.
MPC Beats. If you click here, it's going to give you a pencil. You can start drawing stuff.
I got you.
Drawing a kick, snare, kick, and a snare. So maybe I'll move this kick over here. Let's listen to it.
Don't worry about it. What about here, time? Uh-oh.
Be down in there. Let's go ahead and put the BPM up. Boom. Let's find a hi-hat.
Like that, yeah. No more of that, buddy.
Alright, let's draw this one in. So if you hold that pencil down and draw across, you can do that. I'm actually going to put the BPM down on that. Not the BPM, but the time correct. So I want to put 8 notes. Alright,
Get
so
him, boy, get him.
You click that, you can go into 8 notes. I'm not going to necessarily explain everything fully.
You through.
But hopefully you guys could follow.
Oh, hell am I.
Now I want to show you this trick. So
alright.
Here, you can see the time corrections. Now,
boom.
Right here.
I'm at 4 kills already. I'm doing my
thizzle.
Y'all don't want to fuck with me?
So I can actually come in here.
That's 4 out of 8 players?
Notes. If you
Come on.
That, it moves those notes, and then draw some triplets in. Right, and then you can go to 16. Draw some 16th hi-hats in there. Alright, so you got that going. Now, if I want to double this up, I can go over here, I can go to edit. What am I
I'm about to frame you right now.
Sequence. And then you can double length. So if you look, we got a whole beat right there. Alright, so now we got a beat. We got something that we can actually go and play chords to, so let's go ahead and go to the next track. If you want, you can name this drums. So I just double clicked up in there and named it drums. I'm going to go to a second track. So if I click in there, go there to an unused track. And I'm thinking maybe some chords, so we'll throw a plugin in there. And maybe I'll just name this chords. Alright, Tube Synth is the default plugin. So that's what that is. But the thing is, you can actually use whatever VSTs you want and stuff in here. But what I want to do is, I'm going to try to keep it to some of the stuff that comes with it. So if you come here, you can load like the MIDI gram. This actually came with it.
I didn't get you yet. Hold on.
Alright, let's say you want to do chords but don't know how to play chords, you can actually come in here. Right, you could do pad performer. Let's do chords. Start on root note. Let's do A. So that's going to be an A chord, and it's going to be a natural minor. So it's going to be a boom. So the scale is going to be natural minor. I could change the octave right here, so it's going to be higher notes. So I'm just using the pads to do pad perform. I'll leave it in this octave. I can always come back and change it. Now if I want to record a chord progression, if you hit Shift and R, it's going to put that in overdub mode. And you can go ahead and hit
got you. I framed you right now. Alright, you slowly get up there. You can take your time, man. Take your time.
Space.
Okay. Now you can have more.
My playing is not that great, but that's what's cool about software. So if you look in here, I can actually go in here and edit this. So this box right there,
you might be level 5.
Notes, and then I can just use that little arrow too. So if you put the mouse right over the edge, you get this kind of double arrow, and you can move these notes around. I clearly right here, so I can delete these notes. Right, so I just selected them, hit the delete button, and these notes were in the next chord, so when I played them like that, kind of messed them up. Let's see what we got now. this Q link down right there, so it turns the piano down a little bit. So we got drums, we got some chords. I can go in there and change this. I don't want a piano necessarily, so I'm going to try to pick a different plugin. And that's what's cool about the software here is once you get the notes in there, you can change the presets, you can get a different plugin. I'm going to pick a different plugin. Right there, it says plugin, go to hybrid. Hybrid came with the MPK Mini. Select that one. Alright, and you click there, we got different presets. Alright, and if you come over here, you can actually see hybrid. So I can do it that way, or I can hit the plugin right there and hit that little arrow that's pointing up like that. Make the different presets. So I'm gonna go with some kind of pad.
Hey, I'm shooting shit up, but hey.
You know what I mean? Little glider pad. I gotta turn my headphones up. Locked in. Alright, so once you get the sound that you like, you can actually customize it and you can put insert plugins onto that particular plugin track. So you can come over here and pick different plugins. So I can pick whatever I want. So I'm thinking I'm just going to put a filter on the entire sound. So you got your air filters, or you could just do like Nikai low pass filter. You know what I mean? Hey, if you're finding value in this at all, consider giving it a like. It's going to help out this video. It's going to help people see this, and I do appreciate you for doing that. Thanks for being a part of the family here. Let's keep going. All right, this is what it sounds like with it off. Turn it on. All right, so I got some chords in there, so that's tight. So I'm going to go to track 3. I'm actually going to load an 808. So if I go to my key groups over here, I can actually find out 808. Now, I did get some F9 instruments. When you buy the MPK Mini, I got like some F9 instruments from the bigger expansion. So I have the full expansion here. It's got 104 key groups in it, but this one right here is like a little mini. So I got this 808 right here. And this one here. Which one sounds better? Let's load up the second one. Whenever you load your 808, you got to make sure you assign it to your track. Alright, so you got to make sure you do that. So anytime that you load a program, you got to assign it to a track. So right here we got track 3, which I named 808, and it's got a 808 program in it. And what I can do is go back to main. Now what's very important about this is that you need to make sure you put this back on notes instead of chords, because if you try to play the 808, you're going to get really confused with your notes not matching the actual notes, because it's going to try to play 3 different notes, but this 808 is in mono. So we're good there. So I'm going to actually mute this kick. So I'm going to go over here to the drums, and I'm going to select that kick. Is that the one? No, it was this one. Alright, so I'm going to select that kick. I'm going to click right here where there's a little pad. It's like one pad. I'm going to mute it for now. This way we can make the 808 whatever we want. So, you hear that? I'm going to go back over to the 808 track. You know what I'm saying? Now we can do the 808. So I'm going to push Shift R and then Space Bar and just record those root notes in. So once I record those in, I can find these notes on here. Now we can see the actual notes that was recorded in there, and we can edit them how we want. So let's go ahead and listen to it. I think the chords actually changed too many times. So like right here, this one, I think I'm going to go into the chords. I'm going to delete that 808, come into the chords right here, delete that, select these, pull these out like that. Now let's listen to it.
No buckshots, I would have been 1,000.
Okay, I don't know why I accidentally recorded that 808 there. Let's delete that though, easy. Alright, pretty cool. Nice and basic, I like it. Let's add a couple more 808 notes, maybe one here. And then another one here. Maybe one here, here. Let's listen to it.
Hey, I did friend you. You didn't get my friend request?
If you click up here, you can start the playback a little earlier. So if you click up here in this blue-green area, try something like that. Just having fun with it. So let's go back to that.
I know I did.
Go into that kick.
No, I didn't lose my mind.
So now I'm going to go ahead and kind of mess with the kick drum and make it match the 808. The first thing I got to do is unmute that, so you can see right there I can unmute it here or over here where I did it before. Let's just do it right here. Now let's listen to it. Kick. We need a kick there. One there. That's one too many. So put one there, one there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just edit and then go to sequence right there. And then if you come here, what you could do again, you could double the length of your sequence. So I'm going to double the length of it. And then what that does, it just makes it an exact copy of it. It just makes it more bars, right?
I hope I sent it to the right guy.
First one.
Oh, they took me out the game. Fuck, man.
Yeah. Maybe do this on this first one, and then on
they kicked me out my goddamn game.
Track, kind of mellow it out a bit, and you just keep it crazy on that. When it loops around again, keep it kind of crazy. So if you listen to it now, I'm actually going to turn the 808 down a little bit. It's probably, just realized it's probably pretty loud. See what I mean? And then what I'm going to do at this point is maybe put like a lead over top of it. I really don't know what I'm going to do. Let's experiment though. Let's have some fun with it. Alright, so I'll put lead. I don't want it to be an 808. Maybe a plugin, maybe one of these other instruments. We got other key groups in here, don't we? Alright, so this is the F9 Beats Edition. Yep, so. So we got this little pluck, little bell. maybe this harp? Let's try it.
Yeah, I can't find you unless you the wildflower. You Bubba Caston wildflower. Alright, I'm getting hot now. I ain't got no weed to smoke. It's all bad.
Oh, snap.
Oh, damn.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of time correct some of this. Right there.
I like it.
That's what's cool about going back and editing it. Yeah. Yo, I'm actually going to save that. I kind of like that. Save project. Alright, this is MPC Beats, isn't it? That's what's so cool about this software. It's free, but it's like you get 8 tracks of MIDI, 2 of actual audio, and I think you can crack out some decent beats. If I was just starting and I had these options available to me, I would be very happy, you know. And maybe that's hindsight, because going through when I first started, going through like downloading stuff and buying stuff and selling stuff and all this stuff, like this just gives it straight to you. You just buy the keyboard, you got ability to play notes, you got some drum pads, you got some, you know, some knobs over here, some encoders, and you get free software. It's just like, yes, please.
Damn, these wheels got better.
Alright, let's listen to the beat.
These are better.
I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to get a beat out, first beat in 2021, and I wanted to kind of share with you the process. And again, if you want some of these shirts, I will leave links in the description. I don't know, somebody asked me about them, so I figure, you know, if you want them, you have access to them. You can get your one if you want it. Alright, so I appreciate you for watching. Plenty more NPC videos this year.
Alright, there we go.
NPC is where it's at. NPC life. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. My name is Matthew. Continue creating music. We'll talk soon. Peace out.
Yup.
Evie!
Yeah.
This place is clean AF.
Excuse me?
What I meant was, clean and fresh.
Yep, because Pine Sol disinfects 99.9% of germs.
You know?
Use some soap for that mouth. Pine Sol, it's that kind of clean.
Hey, what it do?
Hi there, welcome to the MPC Beats Academy. Now in this masterclass, we're going to be covering
That's right. See,
track from the ground.
your name don't match your on the
So we're
screen.
going to be walking through 7 different episodes of how you can start your track from the ground upwards. So by the time you watch this entire series,
I typed in your name. He said you was Wildflower.
to your own track. So without further ado, let's dive straight
All right, hold on.
start making some lo-fi. Upwards. So we're going to be covering
join the party.
Using
Join the party.
Now, I'm my MPK Mini Mark II for this tutorial. And then you can select the controller that you do have, and then you can load that MIDI map, and then you'll
stop that right there. What's up? I'm in here with myself. Are you in there? Shit, we can hear everybody all right? Why you ain't got a mic, man? So you heard? Man, the microphone's on your thing right here. I say your stepmom's. You gotta tell her quit tripping. Tell her, Stella, get your groove back. Quit tripping. Oh, don't tell her that. She might jump on you. Don't do that. Wait till you get in your teens, at least. For sure. You know she will. You gotta respect your elders. You gotta actually get you some headphones with the mic on it. Ah, damn. I'm supposed to get in my game. All right, here we go. Here we go. No comment. No comment. Hook me up. All right, we going in. We going in. Hold on. I didn't invite you. All right, you in the party now. Oh, shit. They need me. Oh, my guy's over getting towed up. Oh, here I come. Ooh. Ooh. Going. Get out of here. Back up, boy. I seen they tried to get you. I gotta work on this song. What happened? What happened? Yeah, I didn't get you in the party? All right, all right. Hold on, I'm getting everybody on the thing. All right, I've been over here trying to connect with y'all. You can have yours like mine's in a minute. Hold on. Let me see here. Yeah. Hold on, I gotta get to this instrumental. Yeah, I got Spotify. I got music on Spotify. Type in my name, Kalisuccess. I got 5 songs out. What you got some music on Spotify?
Cox Internet, #1 for streaming video. Even this video.
Alright, what is it?
Take me to the forest.
Oh, this is something I gotta make. What's the title of the name? I mean, what's the album name? What's the name of the song? And check out mine too, Kalisuccess Frustrated. Got you. Oh, okay. Mrs. Bubblegum. Come on, guy, move it. Oh, man. Where everybody at?
Immobilize targets. The best kind.
Where he at? Damn. You got the credit for it. Hold on, I gotta put it in Mrs. Bubblegum. Damn it. Hold on. Oh shit, gotta invitation. Where we at? What song is it? Which one was it? This one. Ah, this ain't it. Come on. Put it ready. Not it. My song
Thank you, Senator Cortez Masto and Senator Rosen, for prioritizing us and investing in clean energy jobs right here in Nevada.
What's going on? We ain't ready?
Jobs that don't require a college degree in America's fastest growing industries. Your actions will prepare workers for clean energy careers, tackle climate change, strengthen our economy, and power Nevada. Senator Cortez Masto and Senator Rosen, thank you for putting Nevada first. Let's keep up the fight and get this done.
What's going on? Nah. Microphone right there. That's all bad. Come on, gang. Flag that up. What's up, man? Ready? You ready? What's cracking? All right, we in there. We in there. It was bragging. Hey, baby, I'm worth this. Baby, I'm worth it. I gotta do this. Fuck, I can't find it. What the fuck is it? Oh, no, hell no. Oh, they got me. They got me. Had enough, had enough, had enough. Take it up, good. Okay. All we gotta do is put a little work aside. Let me work on the deeper side. I gotta find mine. Is this it? Come on, gun their asses up, man. Gun them down. Gun them down. You don't want no smoke? Ooh, shoot his tires out. He's gonna shoot his legs out, cripple him. Oh, he ain't playing. He ain't playing. He about to tear you down limb by limb. He's about to knock off your body. I'm worth it. Everything that I do, keep me working. Deep inside and I'm hurting. Yeah, I'm hurting. Everything that I do is worth it. This ain't my beat. know what? That's what I probably forgot to do. Yeah. Shit, I stream down there every day. I stream a lot. This last couple of days I haven't. I just got back home. My daughter's birthday was yesterday. She turned 6. I think I found it.
Studio by Studio Link. I'm not even lying. I am in love with this thing. Like, this thing is a game changer. And it's a game changer for a few reasons. For all of my hip hop producers out.
Okay. Well, I turned 44 on the 14th of this month. It's all right, though. It's just another day. You're gonna learn that as you get older. Birthdays, that's nothing. Nobody really cares. It's about survival. It's all right. I didn't get nothing either. But I know you young. You know what I'm saying? You be expecting stuff like that, but I learned that. No, people care. People care. Don't even think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even have a job, so you're doing bills. So that pays a part. You might have a job that's not paying that much, but it only covers the bills, but you can't buy your children, you know what I'm saying, gifts and stuff like that. So don't feel bad that you didn't get no gifts. You know what I'm saying? There's always a reason why. You know, a lot of things happen. But you might get something later on, though. Who knows? Baby, I'm worth it. All we gotta do is put a little bit of work and desire and the passion. Our heart's still burning. Baby, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. All we gotta do is put a little bit of What you thought, huh? What you thought? Oh, he trying to get on. He trying to run too? You know what? Blow his tank off. Damn you. Damn you. I got jumped. It's over with. I got to work on this song right here I'm working on. Baby, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. All we gotta do is put a little bit of work and desire in the heart. I'm still burning. Baby, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. All we gotta do is put a little bit of work and desire and the passion. Our heart's still burning. Check, travel around the world and I get you that Birkin. I take you on the top, baby, that's for certain. Never play with mind and heart, and if you hurt, everything I do is to do it for you to deserve it. Yeah, I'm gonna be stumbling my words. It's all good, baby girl. Gonna hold you reserved. I gonna get it in a minute. Out. I got my chorus part. My brother got his verse. I gotta work on my verse. I do the chorus and the verse. I'm worth it. All we gotta do is put a little bit of work and desire and the passion. Our heart's still burning. Baby, I'm worth it. And baby, I'm worth it. All we gotta do is put a little bit of work and desire and the passion. And my heart's still burning. Baby, I'm worth it. And baby, I'm worth it. And all we gotta do is put a little bit of work and still burn. Travel around the world and I get you that bird. And I put you on top, baby, that's for certain. Never put your heart in the mind and leave you hurt. Everything I do it for you because you serve it. Everything I do for you, I do it for you serve it. Everything I do for you, I do it for you serve it. Okay, I gotta rewrite that shit. Travel around the world and I get you that bird. And put you on top, baby, that's for certain. Never put your heart in the mind. Never play with your heart and mind and leave you. Never play with your heart and your mind and leave you hurt. Come on, rap it. We ain't ready yet? Baby, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. All you gotta do is put a little bit of work inside. So no heart still burn. Travel on the world and I get you that bird. And I put you on top, baby, that's for sure. Let it lift your heart and mind and leave you hurt. Everything I do it for you, sir. Oh, shit. Get ready. Working.